Welcome back, everybody. Most people think literary awards are just fancy gold stickers for adults. And they are, but awards are also cultural machinery. They decide what gets translated, what gets discovered, and what ends up becoming the book your friend won't shut up about for 3, 6, 12 months straight. The PEN America Literary Awards are a perfect example. PEN America was founded in 1922 as a literature and free expression organization. They launched their award program in 1963, and the first prize was for translation. Translation. Not best plot twist, not most aesthetic dust jacket, but translation. And that's the clue. These awards aren't only about what's good, they're about what deserves to be heard. And let's go ahead with that. Go ahead and crank open our screen share. Screen share. And we're waiting. Looks like we're good. Gold star sticker. Yay. Let me move this out of the way because it doesn't need to be there. All right, moved and PEN America, the freedom to write. And we got some literary awards from PEN America here. I believe this is the last one. Yay. All right. So when people say PEN Book Awards, they usually mean the PEN America Literary Awards, celebrated at the annual ceremony. But the program is bigger than one trophy. PEN confers 20 plus awards, fellowship grants, and prizes across many categories. So think of it as less one award and more award ecosystem. And awards, yay! PEN America is just book people giving other book people trophies, or is not rather. It's an organization that says it stands at the intersection of literature and human rights, protecting free expression in the United States and worldwide, and championing the freedom to write. So when PEN America hands out awards, it's not only saying this is excellent, it's also quietly saying this deserves to circulate, which is a lot for a plaque. I mean, if people don't talk about it or any kind of recognition isn't given to a piece of literature with the amount of things that come out, they're never going to be discovered or talked about again. So awards do help in that regard very much so. Let's go over here. Freedom to write and read. Yay. Nope, too far. Too far. All right. So let me pull up this now. So we're going to stop the share. Stop share. And pull this up and move it over here. And then reshare. Yay, I need a third monitor. Two's not cutting it. All right, so let's see. All right, so the PEN American Literary Awards are founded in 1963, and then Penn says the first award was born from the PEN Book of the Month Club, which was basically a group focusing on international literature for their book club. In that first award, the PEN Translation Prize, which Penn calls the first of its kind in the United States and its longest running award. And here's the mic drop detail that makes the whole program make sense. The Translation Prize is an annual award for book length prose translations from any language into English. And it's been awarded annually since 63. So, no, it doesn't start as Best American Novel. Nope. It starts as We Are Literally Importing Literature. And that is, funnily enough, the translation is the plot twist. And this isn't some obscure only for grad student thing. The prize has gone to translators behind books people actually know, like Philip Gabriel's translation of, and forgive me, Haruki Murakami Kafka of the Shore. And let's take a look at that over here. Just some more history. And that book is here. And I like the cover. Okay. Then the program expands like a fantasy series. It was supposed to be a trilogy. In 76, Mary Hemingway founded the PEN Hemingway Award. PEN notes it's now focused on debut novels, and it's celebrated annually at the JFK Library and Museum in Boston. And both winner and finalists receive residency at UCross in Wyoming. And this award has a history of spotting heavy hitters early. Marilyn Robinson won it in 1982 for housekeeping. And 1990s Penn Awards program expanded in more categories to essays, to poetry, and playwriting. In 2002, the Open Book Committee founds the Open Book Award, honoring an exceptional book of any genre by a writer of color, explicitly tied to access and inclusivity. And the Open Book winners list has straight up household names like Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, recognized for Half of a Yellow Sun in 2007. And also in 2002, the Penn Robert W. Brigham Prize is founded and later focuses on debut short story collections, which Penn describes as unique in the U.S. landscape. So let me stop sharing that and let's go back over here. And we're sharing. Yay. Yay, share. So Penn describes the program as honoring major genres. You got translation, fiction, poetry, science writing, essays, sports writing, biography, children's literature, drama, and it confers about 20 plus award, fellowship, and grants annually. Penn also says the program awards over $370,000 annually in support, and that International Literature Translation Prize and grants together add up to about $80,000 plus annually, spanning literature from 35 plus languages. And for this is happening right now. Penn announced that it's 50 finalists and says the 2026 ceremony is going to be at the end of March on the 31st at the Town Hall in New York City. So yes, the awards are old enough to have a legacy and alive enough to cause arguments on the internet, the perfect combination. Because again, the key is about talking about these things. If no one's talking, even if it's in an argument form or a debate form, no one cares and it gets lost to the test of time. So this isn't really my cousin reads 3 novels and declaring winner. Penn points people to individual award pages for submissions and nomination rules, and it publishes broad submission guidelines. For example, Penn says it will only accept submissions from publishers or literary agents. Authors don't submit their own books. And Penn lays out the annual flow. Judges read through the fall long list / finalist, and they land in winter. And winners are announced in the spring at the ceremony, which is, well, again, at the end of March here. Also, to underline, this is a real jury ecosystem. At least some cycles, Penn has announced 80 plus judges across categories. So yeah, there's a lot of reading, like a Victorian aristocrat with tragic illness levels of reading. But yeah, let me go over here. There we go. Aha. So translation is culture and infrastructure. Penn's Awards history basically yells this from the start. Translation wasn't an add-on, it was a foundation. And it's not just really prestige, it's more oxygen. Money plus attention plus institutional backing can change careers. It really can. Penn explicitly frames its award program as celebrating literary excellence, encouraging global discourse, championing important voices, and bringing new books to life. And awards are kind of like a cultural search engine. Here's who uses them. These lists become high-trust shortcuts for librarians, booksellers, teachers, festival programmers, and reviewers deciding what gets taught, invited, and remembered. Their mission matters. The awards aren't separable from free expression fights because Penn's stated mission is defending free expression and the freedom to write. The awards inevitably orbit bigger public debates about speech, safety, and institutional responsibility. Translation is the plot twist, but it's also the thesis. Go over here. Ta-da! Languages. Yay. And if you want a modern moment that proves these awards matter, gonna get slightly political. Please be nice to me in the comments. But let's rewind a little bit back to 2024. PEN America canceled its annual Literary Awards ceremony, and in Penn's own statement, they reported that 28 of the 61 nominated authors and translators withdrew, including 9 of 10 nominees for Penn's Gene Stein Book Award. Major reporting connected withdrawals to criticism of Penn's response to the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza. And just to keep the video clean, I'm not here to regulate the conflict, only to point out the institutions don't get tested like this unless they matter to writers. So going over here. Ta-da! Well, it's that time. So, from a translation prize founded in 63 to today's sprawling awards ecosystem, the PEN America Literary Awards are a map of literary value and a mirror of the moments when culture gets contested. So, again, noise, even if it's an unpopular noise, is at least something, and things can get discovered that way. Now, I think Penn runs a pretty good award system that they do, and I look forward to the awards at the end of the month here. And there will be a part two, as I will be going over the finalist on Thursday's video, and we'll get to see lots and lots of cool books. Um, but again, I mean, people know what the Pulitzer Prize is or the Nobel Prize, but all these other awards help get the unsung heroes and more important literature heard that should be heard, honestly. So make sure to check out your other awards out there. And again, I've said it before, awards are somebody's opinion, and that's very much so. But some opinions have a little bit more merit than others, but that's open to interpretation, of course. So I think that's where we're going to end. If you like what we're doing here, we have a public Discord. The link will be down in the description, as well as a Patreon group if you're interested in joining a book club to read kick-ass books. And I want to know what book in translation you've read, or if you want to take a look at their website, we'll be kind of going over that on Thursday. If you've read anything from Penn lately, that you may have been unaware of that they got an award for. So, yeah, I think that's going to do it. And as always, keep on booking on.